Fun. How is everybody? I'm glad to see you guys.
Glad to be here.
Feels like Monday.
Feels like Monday.
It might be because it is Monday.
I know, that's weird.
What a concept, right? What are you drinking, Loie?
My usual green iced tea.
Nice. I'm still on the coffee thing.
I lived in Portland, Oregon for over 26 years and could never get into coffee. It's
Really?
just- yeah. So I'm just going to be a tea person till the end.
Have you sought any therapy for that? Professional?
You know, I don't feel real deficit in my life, so I haven't, but I do know that it is odd,
Uh-huh.
but yes.
Especially having lived in Portland, right?
Oh, I know. It's like,
West Coast people are all about the coffee.
oh, they love it. I just can't. It's so bitter to me.
You should see how strong my coffee is. It's crazy. I
Wow.
have people that come over and they're like, okay, half of this and half hot water. But I don't know. I just like it like that. So,
Fully fueled.
You need better friends, Candy.
right. People who like high test. Hi, Beryl Ann. Nice to see you. I see you on mute.
Yes. Thank you. Likewise. Hi,
This
everyone.
is like the fourth week in a row you've been on, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, so let's dive in. As always, I don't know who's arriving, who's not. It's life, the way it goes. I have this reviewing the previous week, looking at the present, and then setting some kind of accomplishment intentions for the following week. And this week we're going to start with just a little bit of that, not a huge amount. I think it took too long, and so I'm going to tweak it. So probably the best thing is if you guys grab your journal, and then I'm just going to talk you through some questions, and we're going to, oh, I should get my phone so that I can time when we're writing. And what I did last week was I did the questions at the same time. And I just wanted to share this with you because I thought it was sort of interesting. So the first question, and I'm going to ask you this one for this week as well. What did you accomplish last week? And what I found is I had a whole bunch of stuff that I wrote down, which I was happy with. And then because I had opened the coaching container with that question, I kept thinking of more things throughout the entire morning of what I had actually accomplished. And so I would encourage that for you too. Like start to kind of allow your brain to start finding these answers. We have such a negativity bias that when we start to see that little glimmer of, oh, and I actually did this and I did this and wow, and that really worked out well. And I'm really, even the small things that maybe I hadn't even thought of started to come into my mind. And so I just want to be that kind of example, experiment, test tube person for you, to just say, hey, if you notice that all of a sudden you're thinking, oh, and I did this and I did this, keep a journal of that. Like just keep writing it down. It doesn't have to be pretty. Like if I showed you my note here from last week, you'd see that like then they got all over the place, right? And it's not the things so much as the remembering that I did it and getting back into that headspace that was important. So that's just my kind of my pre-thoughts for you is if you start to notice that you're finding more and more things that you remember that you didn't forget, it's a good thing. Your brain is like Google. And when you ask your brain a question, it wants to answer. So the more we ask this question, the more it will look for the answers. And when we have the answers that show the things that we accomplished, that we're, remembering the good things that happened, we can't think of those problems. We can't think of the challenges. We can't think of the thing that's not working, because we can really only hold one's thought at a moment. Like, yes, we have a bazillion thoughts in a day, but the more we think these thoughts of, wow, and I did that, and I did that, and I worked out, my, like for me, I worked out a couple of good places for me to be as a podcast guest. And I did this and I did that and I did that. As soon as I start thinking that, I can't be thinking, and I didn't do that. That didn't work out. I said that and I shouldn't have said that. So just know that you're kind of crowding it out with the more positive thoughts. So anything that you guys want to say before we dive in?
I think this is a great idea, and it makes me think of like the whole gratitude journal idea.
Yeah.
And it's almost like instead of what am I instead of what am I grateful for, what did I accomplish? I think it has a little bit of a different bent, and I love it.
Yeah, it really works well. And I find, I agree, like I like gratitude. I drink my Loey, plug your ears, morning coffee and gaze outside at the ducks and birds and stuff that are outside my window. And I'm really thankful for them, but I kind of get complacent, would be the way I feel about gratitude. But accomplished, now that's something that I can hang on to. So any other comments before we get started? No, okay, let's start. Okay, so grab a blank piece of paper, write the date at the top, and I will read the question, and I would encourage you to write the question and then answer it. And I'll give you a couple of minutes to answer. But I really am in strong favor of this. Our brain is like Google, and if we ask it a question, it must answer. It can't help it, right? So the first question, we're talking about last week right now. So this is the past week. And the question is, what did I accomplish last week? What did I accomplish last week? I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to write some things down. About another 30 seconds. So this is another thing that I do. And again, I will show you my god-awful writing. See, god-awful writing, god-awful writing. It is not a to-do list. It's something that I started doing years ago. I call it my done list. And it's not I know it's not my original idea, but I have no idea where I learned it from. And so what I do is I write on a page all through the week. So I have one of these paper day timers where on one side I keep track of my client calls and all the different things that are going on. And then the other side, I have what's essentially an 8.5 by 11 sheet of lined paper. And so I keep track of all the interesting things that I do throughout the week. So if you were watching, or if somebody's watching the replay, you're going to see that I was writing the answer to that question, what did I accomplish? And then I opened up my day timer and I went and I was like, oh, I'd forgotten about that. And I'd forgotten about that. I'd forgotten I created a piece of IP. Like, how do I forget that I created a piece of IP, right? So there you go. So that's another place to encourage you, is to maybe keep a Google Doc that's close at hand. I like pen and paper for this because then I can just quickly write a little note to myself. And the other thing that I do is I put a big check mark beside it. So I write the thing and then I put a big check mark, and somehow that just, I capture it. And then it's like the check reminds me, it's like, oh, good job, Candy. Well done. So I would encourage you to try that as well. All right, let's go on to the next question. So we're still talking about last week. Now I want you to write down something, one thing that you wanted to accomplish but didn't. Just one thing. I'm not going to give you a long time. I'm just going to give you a short time for this one. So one thing you didn't accomplish. Now, the more important question is, and why not? Why didn't you? What got in your way from accomplishing that? And you might have a few things. So, again, sort of stretch your brain. And when you're thinking, why didn't I get that done? Was it that something got in your way? Were you feeling stressed? Did you not prioritize it? Did you procrastinate? Did you think, is this too big? This is too big of a thing. So why didn't you get it done? I'd love to hear from you. What did you not get accomplished last week that you really wanted to, and why not? Sounds good. Yep.
I did not accomplish. I have a friend who's running for office in Montana in a statewide race, and I did not accomplish donating to his campaign. And the reason is because the technology that's required, all of the steps I have to go through, makes me not want to do it.
Oh, wow.
It's the complicated technology.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, you could fly out there and hand it to him.
Yeah, honestly, if you would take a check, it would be like not a problem. But he wants to go through this thing called Act Blue, and I don't really trust them, and they take a portion of it, which I don't like. And I have to check and make sure that I have to go change my password because I don't remember my password because I donated like 2 years ago. And they're on again, if you would take a check, we'd be good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't done it because I just dread having to go through all the steps.
And so I guess you get to choose, right? Is it worth it?
Yeah.
Maybe you do mail him a check. You might not get a donation receipt, but
it doesn't matter if I get one or not. I can't take it as a write-off anyway. So it's,
Oh, okay. Oh,
Sure.
that's because you're in the US. You see, in Canada, you can.
yeah, we can't. So we're in a tax bracket that we can't. So, I mean, I wish that he would just take a damn check.
Got it. Okay. What, anybody else? What did you want to accomplish and didn't? Louie?
I didn't write an article that I wanted to write, and it's been on my list every week for weeks to write an article. So, and I think part of it feels like it's too big, and part of it is I don't feel, like I just didn't know the topic. That I thought I had topics, and then I didn't have topics, and now I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, we talked about the 3x3 thing last week, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did that make it easier or harder?
I think it made it a little harder.
Okay. All right. Send me a note if you want to talk about it, or we can talk about it next week when we have our time.
Yeah, cool.
Okay. So I have to, it's the coach in me. I have to ask, what will what will happen? How will you feel when you actually write that article?
Oh, I always feel awesome when I have written. I just getting my butt in the chair and writing is always just, the epic struggle that it shouldn't be. But I try not to get down on that because I actually did a ton last week and I just didn't think I had until I looked at my date book.
Right.
That was good.
Yeah. The other thing is, and I don't know if this is true for you or not, I have this, it's like a little dance that I do sometimes before I do a large project. It's the only way I can describe it. I have to think about it, and then I kind of muddle on it, and then I consider it, and I'm like, oh, I should really do that. And I kind of have this, like, it's like I have to go through the fog, and then finally I get to the point where it's like, okay, fine, let's just do this. And then, but it's like I had to do that indecisive, procrastinating kind of dance before I actually got down to it. I don't know if that's good or not good in my case, but now I've started to recognize that I do it. It's like, oh, it's okay. It's not a big deal. This is just this is actually part of the doing the thing. I find this sometimes for my podcast episodes. I have this little kind of weird dance that I do. Oh, that's what's going on. I have a bird running into my window. It's like I have to do this indecisive dance, and then I finally get down to doing it. I don't know why I do that dance, but I do.
I'm a real incremental worker. And so
Okay.
if you pictured my ascent like a big mountain and there are just different ledges and I'm rock climbing and I do all the work, I often stop at a ledge for a while just to, take in the view, figure out what I want to do next, assess everything. And I think I'm kind of on a ledge right now, which isn't bad. It's just, I know myself, like I'm not one who shoots to the top.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's good to know. It's
Yeah.
good to know, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to help your clients with that as well.
Yeah.
Like, right? How you process things will be really great for them too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Lily, I know that you were a little bit late joining us. We're just doing a little bit of sharing about thinking about last week. And the question is, what did I want to accomplish last week and didn't? And then how come? What got in the way? Why? So, I just wanted you to sort of catch up so you knew where we were at. Beryl Ann, did you want to share something on this one? Look at your little smiling face.
No, I didn't want to share anything, Candy,
Okay.
Yeah, I want to, reach out to you, one-on-one, just to have a conversation. So, I think that would be one of my next steps. I'll be happy to do that.
Okay. Yeah, let's talk. Let's talk. That'll be great.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
for
you.
sure.
Definitely. I'll be happy to.
And do know that, these Monday calls, they are just my gift. They're, I've had a number of people that join these calls sporadically, and if this is exactly what you need for now, great. That's wonderful. If you want to talk, I'm happy to speak as well. Okay, you're always welcome. Lily, did you want to add anything, or are you going to just wait until we get to the next question and then we'll?
I think I'm gonna wait. I don't
Sounds good.
I feel stuck at this. Just feel stuck.
Sounds good. All right, so now we've talked about last week. Let's talk about now. So what is one challenge that you're facing right now? And again, it's just one challenge. It's not like all the challenges. Remember, we talked about your brain being like Google. It wants to go and find every single little challenge. Let's find one challenge and then just write that down. Right? So now, before I ask the next question, I think it's really important for us to know that there will always be at least one challenge. Like no matter where we're at in our life, there is going to be a challenge. No matter where we are as coaches, there will always be a challenge. And once I accepted that, I was like there's no race to the end. There's going to come this time where I'm at the top of the mountain, just sort of using your metaphor there, Loie, where I'm at the top of the mountain and all my challenges will be solved and it'll be great, it'll be sun shining and butterflies and unicorns forevermore. There's always going to be another challenge. So for me, when I decided that, I realized it, I was like, oh, that means I could just relax because it's just the next challenge and the next challenge and the next challenge. So maybe that helps you a little bit in thinking about sort of how you feel about your challenges. It's like, well, this is just the next one. There's going to be another and another and another, and they're all fine, right? Is that helpful? Is that different reframe? Okay, good. Now, the next question is, how do I need to grow to overcome this challenge? You notice that it's not what do I need to do? This is about who do I need to become? Who am I becoming? And how do I need to grow to overcome this challenge? I'm going to layer one more little thing on here. This, who do I need to become? How do I need to grow? Ask yourself honestly, if you're actually already that coach, if you're actually already that person, you just need to give yourself permission to be them.
Can you elaborate more on that?
Well, because I was writing my answer here, and so my one challenge is that I want to go back and record some trainings. So I want to start recording kind of like pre-work that I can give to clients when they're brand new, just starting out with me. And I realized who do I need to become? It's like, well, I need to be decisive. Well, I'm kind of already decisive. I'm just not quite decisive about that. But then I also have to remember that I have to remember, like it's in an instant, that I have actually something to say, that this will help them. And so it's not that I need to grow in a way that I'm not already, but it's just remembering that, oh, wait a minute, I actually already have this. I just have to remember that I have it. So that's what I meant by that, Rhonda. Does that help?
Yeah, I love that actually. Yes, thank you.
So I'll give you guys a couple of minutes to continue answering the question. Who do I need to become? How do I need to grow to overcome the challenge? I'd love to hear how you need to grow or how you think you need to grow to overcome this challenge. What's the next step for you there?
I'll go.
Okay.
My big challenge right now is that my husband and I are both having some big health issues, and our schedule is kind of being hijacked by a number of medical scheduling appointments, surgeries, stuff like that. So I can't lay out my schedule like I like to. Like I want to know I'm doing this on this date and this trip and this kind of thing, or having this guest, and it's been very much winging it. And I feel like for me to grow, to overcome this challenge, I need to work when I can and not when the calendar is free. And I kind of came up with something which was I can give in but not give up.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
I can give in, but not give up. Well said. Yeah. Yeah. Does that help you too, having sort of thought that through?
Yeah, it's a new thought. And
Good.
it's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. It's like a whole topic for an article as far as I can tell.
Oh, thank you. I'm gonna do a big old arrow stars. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and it doesn't have I mean, I know that you have such talent with words, but it doesn't have to be a big article to be impactful, right?
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I just heard that sentence. I was like, ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
Anybody else want to share? Not today? All right.
I can go, but I don't want to monopolize, because
We're not going to monopolize. This is just a casual conversation with 5 people. It's great.
my one challenge, the thing that I've been putting on my writing on my calendar every single week for about 6 months is and not doing it is I really need to fix the website that for my listen cards that I have. I really need to do it. And I just don't want to. I just don't want to do it. So how do I need to grow to overcome this challenge? I guess I need to grow into a place of who do I need to become? And I think, I'm not 100% sure on that, actually. It has to be done. It has to be done by me. I just really don't want to do it. I guess what I need to do is I need to become a person who either prioritizes doing it or just stop writing it. Just let it go.
How do you not want to do it? What do you think's going on there?
It's the technology again. It's like it's so stressful to go through. When I started working on my website for my coaching, I did I found a wonderful YouTube tutorial. It's like 90 minutes long or something. It took me a week to go through that, get all the pieces together, put it all together. Loved it. Did all the programming. It was tough, but I could do it, and I figured it all out. And then I found out when I got to the end, well, nobody can pull it up because it doesn't have an S after the end of the hypertext transfer protocol. Oh, well, that requires a conversation and $1,300. Oh, and you also can't connect this website to it, because if you do, then it's a different category, and that's another $700. So like the sadness and the frustration of like, let me just take all of my entire bank account, just pour it into a well, and let me know how that works out. I just find that frustrating.
But notice that it's not just the technology.
Yeah.
Right? Like the technology is the easy.
I felt so vulnerable.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I didn't know if they were lying to me or not.
Right?
Yeah. So it's like, oh, here's another $400.
Yeah.
And I'm also like, I don't want to tell anybody who really knows how to do websites because I don't want to find out that I got taken for a ride. Like, I don't want anybody to.
So look at all those layers, right?
Yeah.
Did so much and then it wasn't enough, and now it's like I've got to keep paying and paying and paying, and is it actually going to work or not? I don't know. I feel like I've been taken advantage of. And then at the heart of it, those listen cards are super precious to you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just a second. I don't know because not everybody has seen them, right? Not everybody has seen these wonderful cards. So for those of you who don't know Rhonda, she made these wonderful listen cards that allow people to come up with a new way of listening, a reason of listening, and interesting questions behind why listening is so important. And they're just beautiful. And they're really, they were really a work of love. And so then now that they were so important to you and so meaningful, and then the website getting in the way, no wonder it feels vulnerable, right? Yeah. I have a comment for you as well.
You have a what?
A comment for you as well. So I have a dirty little secret that nobody knows about my website. So I get a lot of traffic on my website, and my website is made on the hokiest old platform that I could use. It is a breeze and it's cheap. Like, I think I pay all in $250 a year.
Wow.
And I made it in my own hokey little way. If any professional website person looks at my website, they'd be like looking down their nose, look at that stupid website. But it worked for me. And it's okay.
Yeah.
And so maybe there's the need for you to find somebody that you trust that can help you with this platform and help you through. Maybe that's the place for you to go. Who knows, right? But it's this, find the trust within a very meaningful project. That's the challenge.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what if instead of putting it on your to-do list, what if the thing on your to-do list was a little bit different about who could I partner with that I can trust? Like, so you start looking for connection with somebody that you can partner with as opposed to finding the solution right away. Like, maybe the goal is to create the relationship and then eventually the website stuff will get taken care of.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I like it.
Okay, good. All righty. Anybody else? Oh, and do you have your website for your listing cards? We should put it in the chat so people can.
Yeah.
Okay, put it in the chat, please.
I don't even know what it looks like right now. I have to go look. I've been choosing to live under a rock because it's way more comfortable than having to, admit that. Let me look and see. And I'll put it in the chat if it is a valid.
These cards are beautiful and they're important. As coaches, we need to be really cognizant of listening deeply. And this is a resource that can help all of us and can help our clients as well. So I would highly recommend you check them out. So Lily Barreland, do you want to talk about when your next piece? All right.
Okay. So I would say that I think that I need to become less judgmental because I did a program and I think 4 months ago, and I can't launch it. I will go over and over and over and over, always find something that's not working. and I feel like I'm really stuck right there.
So you've created a program that you want to offer to people to purchase.
Yeah.
Will the program help them?
I think so, because I've been um, talking with my daughter, because it's one of my oldest daughter, and it would like, I mean, I can offer this program to people like her, like she from a generation and all, but I honestly, I feel stuck. I feel like I don't know. I ask like 2 or 3 people that are close to me how it could work, and I think that it could work, but I don't know if I think that my inner voice is like too much critical
Yeah.
at that
Yeah.
time.
And
So I feel stuck.
so there's
But I
an
need to really overcome this.
Yeah, and the more that you push to overcome it, the more the voice in your head will tell you that you're so stuck.
Ah.
So this program, you've created it, you've done all the work, and now, I mean, to put it bluntly, you're scared.
Yeah.
Right? Like, what if you offer it and nobody wants it? What if you offer it and people buy it and they say, "Oh, this is no good," right? Like that's what we're really thinking, right? Yeah. And yet the first answer when I said, "Will it help people?" you said, yeah, it will.
Yeah, I'm sure about it. I'm sure it would help for sure. I mean, like 100% sure that it would help. But
You are
I can't.
100% sure that it will help?
Yeah, honestly, yeah. But
Wow.
in the meantime, I can go. I feel like I can.
It's hard. Like there's no way around it. It is scary when we want to launch something, when we want to start a new business, when we want to offer a new program. There is no way around it. It just reminds me of years ago, I was in Acapulco watching those cliff divers. Have you ever seen those cliff divers in person? What they dive from? It's like crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And for them, it's no big deal. Like they just do it, you know, they're entertainers essentially. But for any of us, how you feel about launching a program is like being one of those cliff divers for the very, very, very first time. It takes so much courage. And yet you were called to do this. Yet you had the idea. The idea was gifted to you from the universe to create this, and it will help people. And the longer you hold off, you're holding it away from those people that could benefit from your program. So you get to choose, right? Like that's really what it comes down to. You know, is it sometimes when I'm scared for these things, first off, I think of that cliff diver thing. Like once you're off the cliff, that's it, you gotta go, right? Like no holds barred. But sometimes I forget that it's not about me, that it's about the people that I can help. And so if I stop looking at myself in the mirror and I start looking out at those people, and I think, wow, this could really help. This could make all the difference in their life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good point. Yeah, I didn't see it that way. Yeah.
Yeah, but still,
yeah,
you're the only one who can decide. It's kind of like pulling a Band-Aid off, you know. You're gonna have a spot that has no hair on your arm, but once it's off, right?
Yeah.
I would encourage you. Maybe spend a little bit of time, Lily, writing not about you and how you feel stuck and how you feel overwhelmed and you're not sure what to do, but write a little bit about how it will help them and the ripple effect.
Okay.
Just to remember, just to get back in touch with your compelling why.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe that'll help.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good. All right. Anybody else before we go on? No, no, no. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. I want to know, what is your absolute top priority this week? One priority, only one. Why is it your top priority? Take it another minute and keep asking yourself why. Why is this important? Why is this the one thing for this week? Back to me. I would love to hear, what is your one priority for the week and why? Carolyn, if you don't want to come on and answer, you could type it in the chat. You guys could type these things in the chat too. It's always available there for you.
I could share.
Okay.
So my number one priority this week is to create structural content for my self-love coaching practice program, my self-love coaching program.
So what does that mean? Meaning, so my question is kind of like more from the standpoint of if we were talking again next Monday, and you really felt like, yes, I really got that done. So what's the specific thing? Like creating structural content is one thing, but like,
yeah, creating an outline.
Okay.
And so creating an outline. Yes.
So you're going to have your outline done. Okay.
And I'm going to have some of the steps for each course.
Okay. Will you have fun doing it?
Absolutely.
If you're not having fun, it's the wrong thing. So, excellent. Okay.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah. So when we talk next Monday, when you come on next Monday, that's going to be one of the things about what did I accomplish last week? You're going to be that much further ahead. Yeah. Okay.
I agree.
Anybody else? What's your one priority and why?
For me, my top priority this week is to reread my book about nonviolent communication, to get very well versed on it. And the reason is because I promised it to a potential client, and I put one of my key values is reliability. I follow through on my promises. So.
It's going to be great.
Yep, I follow through.
Yeah, and also this keeping all these, like rereading these things, it's this next step towards mastery, right?
Right. And I would love to be a master of nonviolent communication. That's fabulous.
Yeah, that would be an amazing thing. Cool. All right, excellent. Anybody else? One thing, one priority?
I am going to write that bloody article, and I'm going to write it around I can give in but not give up. And basically the clarity that coaching can brought me. And, you know, every article I'm writing is trying to build up reasons for coaching. So.
I love that. There is something slightly that I've been reminded of, because I'm writing a bit more now myself, is that when we try to teach, it's not as connected as when we try to lead and guide and support. Yeah.
Nice.
I found that really helpful too. I was like, oh, I can teach until the cows come home, but if it's not as impactful for people, why am I doing it? I get to communicate in a way that's more helpful. Lovely. That's exciting. Lily, what about you? What's your one priority?
Actually, it's more about myself. I was thinking that my priority is taking care of myself because I want to have more energy
Mhm.
to be able to create more content again.
What will
And
you
I
do to
feel
take care
really,
of yourself? What will you do to take care of yourself?
I started to walk. Like I'm trying to walk every day and also to eat better because I don't always eat at the same time.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you forget to eat, don't you?
Yeah.
I don't have that problem. Yeah.
So, and I was sick actually. I'm on antibiotic that forced me to eat at time like in the morning and at the night before lunch. I have to take my antibiotic, so I have to eat when I am taking them.
Yeah.
So it's not easy that way, but it's a way for me to eat better. So I am in this
That's important.
process of feeling better. That's my priority this week.
So taking care of yourself, I love that. And it's something that I often forget. So I appreciate you reminding me as well. Yeah. I have a question for you. Not a question, but maybe a comment. Is sometimes for me, when I'm focused more on self-care and, taking care of myself, I might ask myself, what would nourish me? What would nourish me the most? And sometimes it's food. Sometimes it's a food choice. Sometimes it's another glass of water. Sometimes it's just to take a breath and go for a little walk outside for a bit. What would nourish me?
What would nourish me?
Yeah, I really, for some reason, I love that word, the nourish word. It's got so much, I don't know, depth and juiciness and stuff to it, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Something that come to mind, Candy. No, saying something that come to mind. I was thinking, self-talk. That's nourishing also.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Having that little bit of
thank you.
Having some time to have that self-talk, just to put things into perspective, or just asking the universe or the creator for certain things to manifest into your life, and just waiting for it to happen.
Oh,
great.
Thank you.
I love that. Thank you.
Yeah, me too.
So helpful.
Because usually I was asked myself what is good for my body. But that's a good point. Like self-talk can be really good. Not only my body, but my mind too. And the rest of it.
I love that. That's so helpful. Very good.
Yeah.
Okay. So you know what you're going to do next week? Your top priority. We did a little bit of I don't know what to call it, review of last week, a little bit about what's going on. Do you feel like you need anything else to make this coming week? I don't know if the word's productive, but fulfilling. What do you need to make this coming week fulfilling?
Very strong coffee.
I would say utilizing my wisdom to put things for things to align in some of my next steps.
Good point. I love that. Thank you. Anybody else before we wrap up for today? Okay. I'm so pleased that everybody was here. And I have to say, there's something that I don't know. Are you guys on the speaker view or on the gallery view?
Gallery.
When you're seeing the screen. Gallery. I love that we have such a diverse representation of women. It's great. I think this is amazing. This is sort of like, you never know how a Monday is going to turn out, but look at this group. So many different types of people, so many different nationalities, and it's wonderful. So thank you for joining me. I really appreciate you. And I appreciate the time that we spent together. And for me, now I'm ready to start my week. This is a good thing. And Rhonda, thank you for putting the note into the listenbook.guru. And then I'm going to check it out again. Do you need any feedback or anything? Or are you just frustrated with that website? Do you want me to tell you if it looks how it looks, if it's half decent, or?
I would love it if you look at my website and that website and tell me how I can make them friends, cousins.
Okay.
That'd be
Great.
great.
I don't know if I can do that, but I can tell you my opinion.
I appreciate your opinion.
Okay. Thank you. We'll talk to you soon. Okay. Thanks, everybody. We'll talk to you again next week, hopefully. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.